Hi and welcome back to PixelPia Creative AI and my series that I call the Prompt Lab. In our last video, we explored what happens when you add just one word to a MidJourney prompt and how that one word can frame the entire image. Today we are doing something a little different. We are not changing the story. We are changing the style. Because here's the thing. Two prompts can describe the exact same thing, the same scene. For example, a girl in the forest. But one can feel like a fairy tale, while the other feel like a film noir. Just because how we style it. When you add a style tag like in the style of, as this kind of painting, you no longer just prompt for the content, you prompt for the aesthetics. And that aesthetics carries a lot of weight and meaning. Adding a style tag does three things. It changes the visual language like line, colors, texture, composition. It shifts the emotional tone, nostalgic, futuristic, harsh, soft, and it creates genre expectations. Sci-fi, vintage, storybook, surrealism, and so forth. We haven't changed the subject at all. We have just changed how the subject is seen. So with that said, let's move over to MidJourney and try this together. Today, we are going to create our images in the dimension 4x3. We are having all aesthetics set to 0 as we did last time, and we have no personalization on. The base prompt we're going to use today is a girl in a forest. And before we start adding style, I will show you how it looks in version 6.1. So let's create that one first. And let's switch over to model 7 while we're waiting for this. So here we have the version 6.1, a girl in a forest. And as you can see, we get very different styles here. We are going to use the text again, and this time model 7. And one thing you will notice is that version 7 very often prefer photorealism. And here we have the images from model 7, and as I said, it's very often prefer photorealism. We had no drawings in these 4 examples, while we had some in version 6.1. So, what happens if we add a style reference here? Well, since version 7, which we are going to work in for the rest of this, prefers photorealism, let's add as a watercolor illustration and see what happens. And here we got something very different from our original 4 images in version 7. None of them are photorealistic any longer. But let's try some more. Let's try this girl in the style of Tim Burton. And once again, we have changed the style and it looks very different. And no matter if it's a drawing or a photo image, it's very much in the style of Tim Burton with these little crooked lines and the typical style of his characters. Let's try something quite different. As a 1980s Japanese animation cell. And once again, we have a totally different feeling in these images. But what if we want this girl to be as a woodcut print from the 1500s? And we still have a girl in the forest. Our subject hasn't changed, but this is quite different from the other ones we have seen so far. Let's make it more modern and say a girl in a forest as a high fashion editorial photo. And here we go. It's still a girl in a forest, but far from the wood print we made earlier. What about a girl in a forest as a paper cut shadow box? And once again, the mood, the feeling, everything changes, although it still is a girl in a forest. A girl in a forest as a sci-fi movie still from the 1980s. And I love doing this. I can go on forever, and sometimes you find something that you really like. Well, I grew up with 1980s sci-fi movies, so this feels very familiar to me. Maybe not to you, but I really feel it. Especially this one, for some reason, feels like a 1980s. This one too, 1980s sci-fi without a question. A girl in the forest in the style of Wes Anderson. This feels, I don't know why it put the drawing in there, but this all feels very Wes Anderson-like. But as I said, I don't know why it made this paper clip drawing like one, but the other three are really the feel of Wes Anderson. I want to do two more. A girl in the forest as a digital concept art sketch. I like these digital art concept images. The last one I'm gonna try for right now. Girl in the forest in the style of Hayao Miyazaki. And here we have those. Even though the core idea is the same for all these 40 images I have created today. It's all a girl in a forest. They all tell a different story. And that is the power of adding a style element to your prompt. So as we just saw, style is not just decoration. It's meaning, it's mood, it's storytelling without the need to change a single event. So next time you write the prompt, don't just ask what's in the scene. Ask how should it feel. Style changes the feel of a scene. And if you want to go further, not just how a scene feels, but how it is framed. In my next episode, we will switch lenses, literally. We are diving into visual language of photography and film. How prompts like close-up portrait, wide shot, or even shot on 85mm film can shape not just the style, but the composition of your image. Because in MidJourney, the camera don't just see the world, it defines it. And if that is something you would be interested in, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button under this video. With that said, I hope to see you back here in my next video. And as always, stay curious. Bye!